to the nighttime heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. This program is also being relayed by Radio Gegema, that is in Nima County, Radio Kwatika in Bon County, and of course, Radio Wulogisi in Lofa County. We are streaming live on our Facebook page, that is the Nighttime Heat Facebook page. Just go to where they have the search, and of course, you tap Nighttime Heat. Go to follow the show and also share the show. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel. Again, where you have the search, just tap the Nighttime Heat. And of course, you're also going to follow the show on YouTube. We are also streaming live on Prime FM, Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. So we are streaming live on 3 major platforms. We want you to share tonight's edition. It promises to be very, very intriguing. Tonight we'll be discussing 3 major topics. I know you've been listening and of course been reading as well. The University of Liberia, is saddled with a lot of crisis, It's like almost every year the UL goes through that. In fact, today was a major protest. And of course, we saw students clashing with members of the Liberian National Police. We'll be looking at that. We'll also bring you video. And of course, we talk about that. Also, we'll be trying to figure out who is funding a proxy war against Liberia's Finance Minister Augustine Kpehigafua. Is there anyone funding a proxy war using a political commentator to spew innuendos against the minister? Well, we'll be trying to look at that tonight also. And then I'm sure you're quite aware that the new interim team at the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency today took office. We'll be looking, we'll be also listening to the video. So what is the plan they have to fight the drug war? Saba George is my name, and 2 panelists, Moses Sandy and George Kennedy, will shortly join the team. We'll be right back after the scene.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's start.
Yes, indeed. We are starting the show now. And of course, like I said, we'll be treating 3 major topics. But in the meantime, we wanted to share the show. It promised to be very, very interesting. Tonight, we'll be looking at the crisis at the University of Liberia. Today, student groups were clashing with the Liberian National Police. In fact, they initiated some protests, and that was broken out by the police. And so we'll be talking about that. Also, we are hearing that the university is seriously saddled. The offer, that's the University Faculty Association, will be speaking also with the Secretary General, and of course the Secretary General of the student community as well. We'll be speaking with them both, and hopefully we hope to have joining us the chair of the House Committee on Education, Representative Yan Flo from Nima County. Well, you should be joining us on the program as well. And then also we'll be trying to figure out who is funding a proxy war against Liberia's Finance Minister Augustine Kpehigafua. We'll be reading an article that came up today in the Liberian Investigator. We'll be looking at that article, and of course, to talk about that particular story. Also, the new team at the Drugs Enforcement Agency, the DEA, well, they took office today. The three-member team took office today. But what is the plan? We heard them talking about some strategic plan. We'll be asking them. I will be hearing about that. We'll play that video. And then my panelists and I will talk about that. That's the shape of the nighttime heat tonight. But shortly, we'll be talking about something very, very important. Some Unity Party folks will understand today, visitor, not in fact visitor, but the one there with force, stormed the NIR. And of course, that's the national, registry. And of course, we understand that they carried out some violence, beating on some of the staffers there. We'll be looking at that. We'll be talking about that as well on the program. So hoping that you share tonight's edition. It promises to be very, very interesting. It promises to be firing. I'm sure we'll try and get in touch with the UL one of that's Norris Chua. He's the man responsible for communication. We've been trying to get in touch with him. We haven't yet, though we spoke of him earlier today, hoping that he can join us this discussion as well. But like I said, we'll be talking about the police protest as well. And of course, my colleague George Kennedy, one of my panelists, has just arrived. And of course, I understand also Moses Sani is on. Let me try to welcome Moses quickly. Moses, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Sobot. It's a pleasure to be with you guys today. How you doing?
Well, I'm okay, Moses. I'm okay. And you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm grateful for life. Thank you. And Mr. Kennedy, how you doing?
I'm fine. Thank God. I'm happy you are okay. Even though you got better medical facility than us, but thank God we are okay.
We're trying to rebuild ours, right?
Yeah,
we'll do it. Once we put our mind there, it's doable as a country. When we decide to do that, we can do it, George. Nothing is impossible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We can do it.
Okay, so gentlemen, welcome to the program again. This is the nighttime heat, and of course, like I said, we have three major topics that we'll be treating tonight. And of course, those topics will include the crisis at the University of Liberia. The UL has been saddled again with another crisis. We saw, and of course, there's videos like that. Police and students again clashing today. There was this protest on Capitol Hill. At the same time, we heard also, we'll be hearing from the OFA, that's the University of Liberia Faculty Association. The Secretary General will be on this program tonight. I will hope to be joined by the chair of the House Committee on Education, Jan Flomo, from Nimakani, hoping that he can join us. So then in conversation with him today. And of course, also, we'll be looking at a major story today that appeared in one of the local dailies. In fact, specifically the Liberian investigator, and of course, read through and we'll be asking, trying to figure out tonight who is funding a proxy war against Liberian Finance Minister, the Gossipy Gafwan. Is there anybody? Because I'm sure the paper was able to pinpoint. So we'll be talking about that as well. And then also the new team at the Drugs Enforcement Agency. They took office. What's that plan? We'll be playing a video to hear from the head of the team. So that's the shape of the program tonight. But earlier today, it's been trending, gentlemen. It's been trending that the former Liberian president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, contributed to the okay, we hope to play that the headquarters the headquarters construction of the Congress of Democratic Change, and of course we understand that according to social media that she contributed some $15,000 and then 10 bags of cement.
1,000.
10,000.
1,000.
1,000 bags of cement.
Yeah,
So that had been trending until the former president came out today. Do we have the video? Let's try to hear the former president as to what did she say. So we'll talk about
that. We have with us former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Welcome, Madam President. It is being spread on social media in quite a viral way that you allegedly are giving some support to the opposition CDC in terms of both financial and material, $15,000 and some 1,000 bags of cement for their new headquarters project. Is this information true or not?
Julius, I'm glad you said allegedly. I am here on the farm, been here for 3 days, didn't even know what's going on in the city. But let me say this in response. Those people who put this crap, this nonsense on social media, they must just love my name. They must just love me and say, keep their mouth off me. And what they have just said is damn stupid. Anybody who put that crap out there, I say they are damn stupid. Please repeat it for me and put it just like I say it. Put it there in the media, let everybody hear exactly what it is. Then maybe they will stop these damn lies. Thank you, Julius, for calling me. Please, just tell it. Let everybody hear it well, okay?
Okay, but did they ever reach out? I mean, the CDC, have they ever reached out to you for support also?
Never. No CDC person has reached me on no support. They have no reason to call me for support. I'm busy with my things I do, with my center, things I do with my farm. I'm out of that damn politics. That's why the politics here is so terrible, because it's so sensational. You know, and it just makes people so tired. People want to do the good things for the country. You want to promote the good part of the country. You want to be supportive to all the agencies of government. You want to support the president in everything he does if it's in the interest of the country. And every day somebody come up with some nonsense or the other. It's so doggone sickening. I just wish Liberian people would just get to work. They're so bored with laziness now they can't work.
Okay.
I'm so tired of it. Put it any way you want, put it to you. Just tell it the way it is. Let them know exactly how I feel.
Okay. Thanks so kindly, Madam President.
Yeah, just tell them. I'm working so hard, all they do is preach.
Okay, let me ask Moses first. Moses, you listen to the former Liberian president. I don't know how that information got to the social media, whether it was some propaganda out from the end of the Congress of Democratic Change or from the end of the Unity Party or from what end, we don't know. But what's your takeaway from what the president just said? Moses?
Well, firstly, let me say it is very difficult, like you said, to determine the source of that information and the purpose for which someone opted to put that information in the public domain. Like the former president said, she's not into politics. She's more focused on projects, initiatives that are intended to uplift Liberia. And I tend to agree with her. You know, it doesn't make no sense for someone to put such information out there. The question that anyone will ask is that why would Mr. Sirleaf make a donation to the CDC when the very Unity Party that she led for 12 years? When I said she led for 12 years, she was their standard bearer. She became president for 12 years. The party doesn't have a headquarters. What sense will it make for this woman to take money and give it to another group of people to say, "Hey, go ahead and build yourself a party headquarters"? And let me say this: I want you guys to put me on record for this.
Mhm.
Everything the CDC is doing now, the CDC is acting in the moment. They are being impulsive. That is publicity stunt. I can tell you, there will be no party headquarters. You can quote me on that. There will be no party headquarters. Mr. Weir and his people use millions of dollars. They did not pay rent. The people are telling us that they come and be a party headquarters. That publicity stunt, man. Don't waste your time. They can quote
Okay.
me on that. Thank you.
Okay. Let's hold you there. Josh, what's your takeaway? And then also adding to what Moses said a few seconds ago.
I think a few hours ago, I told you that my Facebook account was down. It's been down over the weekend.
Mhm.
So some of these things I didn't follow, but I saw it. I was surprised. The big person, the very credible person in this country, sent it to me and said, "George, what do you think?" I said, "This is too good to be true." I know Madam Salif is unpredictable. I know what she did 2017, the election. I know what happened. I was heavily involved. But she's not ready to go back to Egypt.
Yeah, another word.
She can't go back to the CDC.
Okay.
She can't go back to the CDC.
But
She was very clear during the second round of 2023. She was very clear behind the scenes, this and that. In fact, quite recently she went to the.
But I think if at all that information was correct, that she had made some contribution, I don't think it is against the backdrop of going to CDC. Maybe she would have done it because of the sort of relationship she has with former President George Weah.
That's if you donate to the CDC, it's different from you donating to George Weah. You'll be donating to the party. If you go to former President Weah behind the scene and give him $1 million to go pay that help at us, nobody looking at you. It's between you people. But going public, it means that it will have shown that you've gone to the party. And look, objectively, I can say the Unity Party is not afraid of that either.
But listen to the way she sounded. Very,
frustrated.
Angry. And you think, when you heard, she was sounding like that. What came to your mind is that she was so, she didn't expect, this would have come up. She didn't expect it. Or she's thinking about that, and unfortunately, it came up.
I saw a retired political general responding to a political situation that she found herself in. And if you look at Madam Salif secret now, you wonder as to what actually they want talking, because her voice still very sharp and strong. So I saw her standing firm, speaking for herself, for integrity, and I respect her for that. I told the person it was too good for me to believe, and it wasn't true. I don't think it was true. And it happened that it came to pass. I know. There are certain things, Madam Salif.
So what do you think about what Moses said? Moses said it's just publicity stunt. It's not possible that the Congress of Democratic Change will build headquarters. In fact, when they were in office, they had lots of resources they didn't do, and now they want to do. You see, it's been impossible.
I partly agree with him, except the fact that it's not possible that they will build their own headquarters. So these guys are much work all the time. They are capable. If all they come back together, they can rent a place or build somewhere. If I'm hearing somewhere around Lone Star or something, land there that they got. So it's possible they can build their own office. But right now, what they're doing is some people try to do is, I think, to try to show that they got the strength, which is may have pushed Mr. Sandy to say this. But really, in all fairness, if former President Weah wants the headquarters up, they can get it. It may not be up to standard of the space as their own headquarters is, but they can get somewhere. Yes, because they got money. They got money.
Now, for me, I don't want to doubt that it's a publicity stunt, and CDC may not build a party headquarters. Moses, for that, I think at default, I don't want to doubt that, because this a ruling former ruling establishment. And they were there just a few years ago, and I know they can do. Former President Weah, rather, I'm sure he still has his contacts, in foreign countries. I'm sure he still have his friends, So if he wants to, I'm sure they can do. Let's not doubt that. But for the Moses.
Let me say something to you quickly. Look, let's look at the CDC and look at what is obtaining in the country currently. The party is gradually, the strength of the party is being dismantled. Thomas Fowler has left. Sir Joseph has left. Today, I saw Kanu in a photo with President Joseph Yuma Boakai, literally trying to make a way into the Unity Party. I am telling you, the political strength of this party is gradually dwindling. The party is declining in less than 2 years. If you were in power for 6 years, you failed to pay rent. Let me give you a graphic example. It's like someone who went through a divorce. The woman moved on, and you try to come across and say, hey, okay, she has moved on, I can do it. Wherever he goes, he gets a girlfriend, and he come and drive in front of the woman's house just to show that, hey, he can get another woman. My man, you have not settled yet. If you say you move on, or this woman has moved on, go back to your drawing table, recalibrate, and come back in a strong way. CDC, you're telling me you got evicted in less than 1 month. You're talking about you want to build party headquarters? Do you have the resources? Do you have that political commitment? Of course not. When Mr. Weah was president, what did he do? He never focused on the CDC. The man told us 9th Street residents. He put up structures. Yes.
Moses.
Yeah.
I mean, for that, I totally disagree, Moses. And I don't think the CDC. I'm not speaking as I'm not a seditious, and I'm not a Weah Shan. Like I said, I worked, in the government at the time headed by former President Weah, based on recommendation from Letcher Reading and Eugene Angley. So the thing I'm saying is that we can doubt the potency or the capacity of the CDC or the political leader, the former President George Weah. Weah still has his connection outside of the country. I mean, he could use his connections to source resources and build his party headquarters. If he didn't do it yesterday, it doesn't mean that he can't do it today. Now, as we're speaking, the Unity Party before they were thrown out as well because they couldn't pay rent. Now the Unity Party is concluding negotiation to pay for its headquarters. Was the amount of over $2 million US. So they didn't do it before, and they're doing it now. So why do you think the CDC can't? So Moses, for that, I totally disagree. Yes, George.
So I tend to side with you on this because, as I said, the CDC left from power not 3 years, not 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
They just left from power. They got evicted. And so right now, I can say that they are not capable of owning or building their own headquarters. Because I know the strength of some of those people financially. If someone can own 16, 17 condominiums on their own in 6 months or 1 year, and the president of the country, if all those guys have top positions, the properties they have amassed over the time, if you look at them, that's the physical asset. Nobody know their bank accounts. Nobody know what they own in Liberia or outside of Liberia. Nobody know what type of relationship they personally have outside there to attract some support to make that political party standing.
Let me say something to you, Moses. Moses, let me say something to you. We saw former President, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She was able, being President Moses, it comes with a lot of opportunities. You can build your relationship not only nationally, you can build it also, internationally. Yeah. So I know where former President Weah is. He's still, still maintaining his relationship with his friends outside.
And he was in Abidjan recently.
Yeah. So he could go out there and sow some resources, Moses, and come back to build his party headquarters. So let us not doubt that CEC will not be able to build a party headquarters. But this is where I want to come, Moses. I know it's almost 8:30. Our guest from Allford and the student representative will be joining us any moment from now. But let's look at the tone of the former president and some of the words that she used. I was listening to Prime this evening on the news, and right after the play, the guest will sincerely apologize for the words used in this clip. I don't know why Moses. Why do you think the former president was so enraged in that manner?
I would say that the former president was upset because she saw that publication or that post as a deliberate attempt by somebody or a group of people to put her at loggerhead with this administration. Don't forget, this woman is a member of the Unity Party. Mm-hmm. That is the Unity Party in leadership. Do you know what it means to have your former president publicly, as claimed in that post, giving political support to an opposition political party? The message that will convey is that she doesn't believe in what the administration is doing. That will also portray that the eviction of the CDC from its party headquarters had the indirect support of this administration. That's what she was angry about. People try to paint her negatively. Yes.
Mr. Kotu want to chip in, you want to weigh in. But Moses, does that warrant the use of those languages, those foul words that the former president, does that warrant that, even if she was angry that maybe they were trying to link her to the CDC and indirectly that means that she's against the action taken against the CDC by the courts? Does that warrant those sort of the usage of those sort of words?
It doesn't. But look, let me tell you, as someone who teaches. Yes.
Let me hold you Moses, and hear from George.
Absolutely, it doesn't.
Okay.
The truth is, she's intellectual by excellence. I know Madam Sirleaf. Every one of us know Madam Sirleaf's intellectual capability, but she was just frustrated. And looking at her age now, we expect that some of these things will happen. Even when we were covering the executive management yesterday, certain thing when she gets first, you see her entire posture. And sometimes, she will say something, we won't say it to the public, but that's it. She's human. She got angry today.
Okay, let me take this call quickly from David Cody.
And George, quickly, just a second. Okay, go ahead.
David wants to waiting on it. Yes, Mr. Cody, quickly. Welcome here.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'll be very brief. Jesus Christ, I remember sometimes I went to some people in the church.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. When you get angry, sometimes you do everything. I'm very surprised myself to hear those words because Mr. Sullivan and I worked together for 2 years as commissioners of the Governance Commission before she became president. I never heard anything else say. Even when she became president, her national role or her own role was like my farm role. I was always there. I I was surprised to hear those words. Never heard it before. But like the both moderators, Mr. Moses Sunday and Kennedy is saying, anything can happen. People can get angry. And one thing I love about Mrs. Sully, she will not lie. Because
Okay.
she's not part of you, she will not lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
When she was supposed to CDC, what she did, she did it open.
Yeah, sure.
By the event, so at that time, for the road, she's also think of it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cody. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time. Thank you. I'm sure our guests will be joining us any moment from now. As soon as they do, we make sure we start the discussion. Yes, Moses, we are trying to come in.
Yeah, quickly, I just wanted to say that human behaviors are unpredictable. And sometimes people act in the moment. The Moses Sandy that you know to be a very calm and quiet guy, there could be a situation that Moses Sandy, like anyone who has emotion, Moses Sandy may act out of character. And you're wondering, is this Moses Sandy that I know? So that's the kind of situation that the former president was faced with. It's very painful. It's very, very painful when you build your character and somebody intentionally try to put your character down, destroy you, to put you at loggerhead with other people. Somebody's very painful, my brother. That's what I was more faced with. Let me stop there.
Yes, sure, and definitely Moses. You know, to hear Madam Salif, in fact, appealing to the journalists to air just as she said verbatim. It shows how frustrated she was today. I mean, when she heard about that, Madam Salif is not that type of person. So, quite recently, in fact, I saw her. The journalist was trying to give her a hard time when she was going to the Unity Party headquarters. So, why are you going there? She said, my party invited me, but I'm not in active politics. When they called me, I had to go there. And she and the journalist got in the point, why are you going there? You're not supposed to go there. So he said, so are you trying? So, you know, sometimes our leaders can get frustrated about these things. Look, the woman,
go ahead, John.
She's as a former state bearer, former president, she's an executive committee member of the Unity Party. For roles in the Unity Party, there's going to be a back-seater role. She doesn't want to be actively on the forefront. So definitely, I mean, she said any advice she can give them, she can give them. That's what she said. So to just come and say, oh, she gave CDC 1,000 bags of cement and plus 50,000 USD, that her frustrated, that her angry, like setting her off with the Unity Party.
Yeah, that what those people did, you know, the intent, you know, was to destroy her, to put her at loggerhead with the party, put her at loggerhead with the administration, put her at loggerhead with the people like this. That's very bad. That's absolutely bad. You know, where's this echo coming from? You know, or do you hear me, George?
I'm hearing you.
Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, so I was just saying that she was angry because those who wrote that post tried to put her at loggerhead with the people of Liberia and the government, and that's absolutely bad. You don't treat someone like that. I agree with her on this one.
Well, gentlemen, we get a report. In fact, I was just called briefly outside that it's not confirmed. It's unconfirmed. The president of the University of Labrador has resigned already. I think she did that this evening, but we're trying to still confirm it. It's unconfirmed. We've been trying to get in touch with Anthony Norris quickly. As soon as we get him, we're hoping to get the confirmer. But we are getting reports that Maguire has resigned. I think that was a part of the demands. But we're trying to also get the faculty Secretary General, trying to lock in. He just called and he's trying to join the show quickly. So hoping that we can have the discussion, and also the Secretary General of SUP, the Student Unification Party, right? Okay, so hoping that they all can join in quickly, and then we have the discussion. But we get to report that the president of the university will understand. It's has reportedly resigned. We don't know how true is it, but we're trying to confirm it with the vice president for is this communication?
It's a vice president for university relations.
University relations. Yeah, we're hoping that we can get it confirmed with him quickly, and then we start the ball rolling. But we understand that. The president has resigned, but we are waiting the ONFA Secretary General so as to get into the discussion. Tonight we are looking at the crisis at the University of Liberia. Latest report unconfirmed that the president already has resigned. So we trying to confirm that because it is not confirmed, it's unconfirmed, and also we'll be treating the topic: who is behind a proxy war? Who's funding the proxy war against Liberia's finance minister, Augustine Kpihi-Gafwan? Who's funding that war? We'll be reading a major article that came off today. I'll be trying to read the article and also discuss it. We'll also be treating tonight the new interim team at the LDEA has taken over. They assumed their roles today at the LD. We got a recording. The ceremony is recording. We'll be playing that and then discuss it as well. But I understand that Mr. Plantain, Eric Plantain, he's the Secretary General of the University of Liberia Faculty Association. He has joined us on the program. So Moses and George, you can welcome him quickly. Okay, he's trying to join. He's trying to connect. I've seen him. He's at the backstage, hoping that he can join us quickly. As soon as he joins, we start the discussion really. But that's the latest we just gathered. I wouldn't know how to read it. We'll try to connect. Yes, Moses.
So Saba, let me just say something. As former executive of ARJ, I get a lot of behind the scene information. I want to tell you that this was in the making. I got a tip off regarding the resignation of the president. This lady, she has been frustrated. She feels so disappointed that, working in the United States, in a stable environment where you don't have to worry about. That's the kind of job this lady did. Teaching at a university doesn't have to worry about whether someone gets paid or not. And making that tremendous sacrifice, relocated to Liberia, a broken economy. She took on this job. It was a huge sacrifice. She got on the ground. The legislature frustrated this lady. The Ministry of Finance frustrated this lady. People at the executive mansion are speaking to you because I have a lot of background information. I'm not going to disclose names, but I'm telling you, this lady was literally frustrated. In the wake of all of this, the students at the university are making unfunded claims. Oh, I do understand the frustration. They want to go back to school. But look, we have to change this mentality in Liberia. Maybe we have to go back to the drawing table as a country when it comes to funding higher education. In the United States here, you have free education in public institutions. You have free education up to what? High school. After high school, if you want to go to college, your parents have to pay for that. When I went to graduate, I had to take student loan. When my daughter went to graduate, when she went to a college, we took student loan. As I speak to you, we are still making payment on those loans. Look, you cannot run the university when people are not paying anything. The government has to rather sit down and figure out what can they do to make the University of Liberia a functional institution. That's one of the challenges. The woman was frustrated. I strongly believe that this was coming, and I believe that she actually acted on what I've been hearing. Yeah.
And besides, also, I've been doing my own. But let me hear from you first, George, quickly.
Mr. Sunday is right. You know, I've always said this. The UL is militarized by a group of students. I mean, with all due respect, the academic records of those who led the student movements at the University of Liberia from the 80s when I opened my eyes coming up to some part of 2000 plus, it's not that of today. Many things today have taken over the academic aspect of the student movement at the University of Liberia. Before you could become also chairman or how to call it sub chairman or sub this, sub that, you had to be A plus or A student or B plus. No B minus, nobody. You got to be academically prepared. You have to be someone who represents the university anywhere academically. We saw it. We saw a lot of great people. We saw the Kwame Clement, we saw the Gafon, we saw all those guys pass through the even Samuel Toy did not win the election, but we saw his output from that university. Right now, most of the copy bearing, I would say, more than the academic aspect. I knew this woman going to get frustrated. You took an American.
No, but no, I'm hearing about frustration.
Yeah.
I heard that from Moses. I heard that also from. I'm hearing that from you. What triggered her frustration now? If she was frustrated for which she, reportedly resigned, then what triggered? What is the reason behind the frustration?
Moses, they list some very clear.
George, let me just say something. So the answer is very simple. How do you run a university without money? No logistics. The buildings are all in the buildings. The buildings at the University of Liberia are all in shambles. Yeah. How do you run such an institution? And the people made a promise: we gave you money. You gotta get the money. This person said, "I want this percentage. I want that percentage." This woman is not used to that. So she comes from the country.
Moses, yes. This is what we've been gathering as well. Yes, it's true that she's been, they've been requesting, support, financial support. But again, I think one of the major reasons from our investigation for which they are not been, receiving what they've been opting for is the issue of reform. There must be a major reform on their payroll. In fact, we are getting reports, Moses, that the payroll of the university is inundated, is packed, is flooded with lots of ghosts. So again, what we get, the university, the Ministry of Finance or the government cannot give you money when there's not sufficient reform on your payroll. You're not done cleaning up and all of that. You got a couple of individuals who are there who are not rendering services and they on the payroll. So again, it's not that. I don't see it's the government finds it, they find delight in that, supporting the university.
So I come like this.
Okay.
Not a Liberian, an American.
Mm-hmm.
You took them from Mali country. You brought them into a system, a terror system. You said the payroll is this, is that. You already have an idea of how that payroll is bad. What type of assistance did we give her to ensure that payroll is clean? That university, we all know what happened there. We all know how that payroll.
What kind of assistance do you expect to be given to the university authority when she's not the only new she's not the only one heading the university. There are some old folks who were at the university also close to her. So if there's a problem, maybe problem being raised by the financials of the government, and they say, look, you need to clean your payroll. You need to do this. You need to do that before you can take, whatever the support you want. And it can happen. Do you expect that monies will just be given when the payroll study. But we have online, or we have in studio. I mean, let me put it that way. Online, the Secretary General of the Student Unification Party, one major group on campus that they're always involved with these sort of Hulubaru and all of that, Wahala and all of that. He has joined us. He's Odysseus Molba. I hope I've got it right. He gone off? Okay, we understand. Again, he's gone off. He's trying to make his way on. Apparently, the internet is back. But please join us. Share the show. We want you to share the show. Tonight, it promises to be very interesting. We're still expecting the Orpha Secretary General. He's Mr. Ireke Panten. He's supposed to be joining us as well. He hasn't yet. He was trying to join the first at the backstage, but later on he went off. So we're still trying to connect with them. As soon as they are ready, we'll make sure we discuss But according to unconfirmed reports, the president of the university has resigned. We don't know how true is it. But again, Moses, we're coming in.
Yeah, let me just come in quickly and tell you something, Sober. You were talking about did this woman get any help? Let me give you some background information from my sources. You remember recently one of the vice president for finance was dismissed. You remember that, right? This woman as president of the university, okay? The woman will hand down directive. And people in management at the University of Liberia, they saw her as an outsider. Liberians saw her as an outsider. They ignored directives from her. See, can you imagine you the head of the university? You say, I want this happen, I want that to be done, and people ignore it. People go back and forth, back and forth. She goes to the legislature. People make outlandish requests for money. She goes to the finance ministry. People asking for kickback. How do you expect this woman to function? The school, everything is in a mess. The woman tried to rebuild. She went with a plan of action, but no support. Local staff fighting her internally. I am speaking to you because I know this lady. I know people who are closer to her, and I get sources that are giving me all this basic information. Why you treat somebody like that? Let me use myself as an example. People say, oh, Moses, you want to Liberia to come where? How do I come to Liberia to come? Why? I want to come to Liberia and contribute. I resign my good job, come to Liberia, I get there, and somebody say, oh, my man, we still running the checks at the Ministry of Finance. Oh, we submitted the voucher. I got it, oh, my man, you got to wait, or they play out of Liberia. Wouldn't I get frustrated? I would regret why I ever made that decision. That's the situation this woman is faced with. Sober?
Yes, okay. I agree with you. I agree with you, Moses. We're still trying to get Mr. Panton and Mr. Molba on the program quickly. I'll see. It seems that they are, trying to come on. But again, we agree that she had some challenges. But again, from what we've gathered, the provision of support and adequate resources, was something based, something that should have been based on something that should have happened based on some reform, especially on the payroll of the university. So we're hoping that we can get the OFA president and the OFA secretary general to join us quickly, because this is what we gathered as well, that there was a need for them to clean up the payroll. Unfortunately, they couldn't, and so funds were withheld. And again, you can't blame those in positions to do that. So we were trying to connect with our guests. Again, share the show. Again, we'll be looking at the topic: who's funding a proxy war against the Liberian finance minister, Gospel Gaffon. We'll be looking at a major story that came up in the Liberian Investigator. We'll be looking at that, and of course, the new team at the DA has resumed work today. I will be listening to the videos from their ceremonies, and then we can talk about that as well. But we're still trying to connect with our people here, George.
So, how do we expect this woman to succeed when she gave instruction to her subordinates and they refused to implement because she's seen as a foreigner, quote unquote foreigner? We have a tendency in this place. And in fact, when that woman came, when Dr. Mapaya was near, the American woman, it's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. Okay, you want American support to your institution, and no law that says foreigner cannot hear the University of Liberia. Foreigner cannot hear that. No law. You want Americans to trust you and support our government and other institutions. But one little position at the University of Liberia for you to cooperate for the University of Liberia to get the kind of support locally and internationally, you turn it down. You fought against it. Now, I know the argument I will come from soup. Oh, the woman was not correct. The woman was like that. I said, look, this thing been happening over the years. The UAL stay in the same place. Since I started knowing myself, looking at that university, the man who I saw that actually maybe tried to make a difference was the late Dr. Dennis.
Yeah, Dr. Dennis.
I saw reform. He was rejected.
Dr. Emmett Dennis.
Dr. Emmett Dennis.
Yeah.
He was vehemently rejected. People say he didn't graduate from UAL. The same Kaki Perumbo, the protested all over, they say he shouldn't take over.
Yeah.
I think it was Mr. Taylor time. And he insisted that the name would be the
I
president.
think Dr. Emmett Dennis.
Was it?
I think
Ellen Johnson. Ellen Johnson said.
Yeah.
Okay, she insisted
Because
that
I
he
can
would remain.
remember
Yeah.
I benefited from his scholarship
Yeah, you see.
at the university.
She insisted that he would remain, and he remained.
Yeah.
And he did some good things. But we always resisting people. Change.
Yeah.
The people fought against that woman because they didn't want the change. Just imagine people responsible to print grade sheets in our university, the kind of things that we're hearing.
Yeah.
Even Dr. Lester Tenney, he ready to talk about our university. Go to a podcast and listen to some. What happened in there? People graduating people who don't meet the requirements.
Yeah.
The UL is the father of all the other universities in this country. For me, I didn't graduate from there, but I'm proud of the UL because that is the public university. It should be number one university. It should have all the facilities. It should be the university that all other universities will get the best practice from. But you are in a one situation, you politicize everything.
We're still trying to connect with Anthony Alon Norris to confirm this for us, but unconfirmed reports say that the president of the university has already stepped aside. I think, and I heard
I want the president of the library to reject it.
To reject
the resignation.
I know. I'm sure.
Yeah.
That one also want to go. I mean, in the midst of the North End.
Yeah.
The president can say, Madame Hulo.
No.
Let me just say something, right? Everyone wants to work in an environment. You want to work in an environment where your sanity, is stabilized.
Yeah.
You want to work in an environment where the condition is not toxic.
Mm-hmm.
But you are the lead host. You are the lead host on this show. If you give a directive to your producers and they ignore that and they act like you're nobody, that's a toxic work environment. Regardless of how much they pay you, nobody will want to be in such an environment. Emotionally, you are not stable. You're not happy. I don't want a job that I'm going to work when I know my authority is not regarded. I'm saying as an outsider, I'm a nobody, I'm a stranger. That's emotionally draining. I would not settle for a job like that. And that's the situation this lady been dealing with for the last months. Somebody in the United States, highly respected, earning over $200,000 a year, relocates to Liberia, and you treat the woman like a trash. What are you talking about? It is sad. It is sad, John. It is
I
sad.
really want them.
But again, Moses says, well, I have serious, difference with what you said, that, she was treated, as a trash. No, I don't think so. I don't think that she was treated that way. Like I said, from our own investigation, is Mr. Panton on? Okay, let's try to welcome Mr. Panton quickly. We're hoping that he can stay on because, again, he gone off. He's finding it difficult to come.
Let's play him call direct.
I think we'll have to just speak with Mr. Panton direct quickly because we can't be waiting. He's been trying to come on. He's on now. Oh, Molba. Okay, let's welcome that's the Secretary General of SUP, the Student Unification Party. Mr. Molba, welcome to the program.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having me. I've had initial difficulties, I guess, is the internet.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you for having me. We acknowledge the chairman of SUP and all militants and laws of the Student Unification Party.
Okay.
And it's a pleasure being featured on your platform.
Okay, shortly we'll be playing a video from your protest today. But do you have any idea? Because we just received a report from around Capitol Hill that the president that you were protesting against has resigned. Do you have any idea before coming on?
Well, whether she has resigned or not, we will know the channel and how the resignation process will be. But as it stands, the party's position is clear that the president of the University of Liberia has displayed her inability to manage the affairs of the university based on all series of counts that we have listed over the time. And we believe that she is unfit to proceed with the university and she must resign in order to save the image of the university. That is the position of the Student Unification Party.
Okay, let's first begin. We know we'll come to your count, but let's listen to this. Let's watch this and listen to this video quickly to ask us, so how did the protest go to? Let's listen to the. Let's watch the video and listen. Are we not?
Good afternoon, good evening, pleasant. Welcome to exclusive online television. And I'm Mohammed M. Kamokai, coming live and direct from the heart of our Capitol building here at Capitol Bypass. The Student Unification Party of the University of Liberia has staged a protest. Either last week they were calling on the immediate resignation of Dr.
Okay. Let's end it there. Mr. Moba, let's ask, how did the protest go today? And what was the reason for the protest?
Yeah, our intent has been always clear that when we are coming out to protest, it's always in line with the Constitution of our country, guaranteed on Article 17 of the 1986 Constitution. As you saw, the Student Unification Party was peacefully parading the various campuses until the Unity Party police decided to invade the University of Liberia and attacking peaceful students on the instruction of the president of the University of Liberia in Dr. Ladies Mapaya. We see this as an affront to our right to education and an affront to our constitutional right of freedom of assembly. And the Vanguard Party will be in the coming days writing communication to the international partners, to groupings around Liberia, reporting the ineptitude of the Liberia National Police and the silence of the security advisor in Kofi Rouge, who was one of student leader and continued to keep silent amidst the party and may harm by the current Unity Party police.
Okay, so why were you protesting? Yeah, why were you protesting today? What was the reason for which you had your men around the campus there today?
So, like I said initially, SUP have had issued press statement and press conferences informing the president of the University of Liberia of series of issues that are detrimental to the students and detrimental to the smooth operation of the University of Liberia. We point out the infrastructure of the university. Aside from our counts affecting the students as well as faculty, we examine the 100-day deliverables of the president of the University of Liberia.
Hello? Oh, it seems that this internet is giving problem. Okay, let's try to welcome Mr. Panten. Eric. Okay, yes, go ahead. Okay, well, we'll still waiting. Let's try to welcome Mr. Panten, Eric Panten. Mr. Panten, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. George. It seems your technology is giving us a tough time.
Yes, I know. But it's good that you are on. The first question to you, do you have any idea? Because just a few minutes ago, we were called and informing us, though unconfirmed, that the president has resigned, the president of the university. Do you have any idea?
Well, I have not. I have also seen some people send me some other stuff that the president has said. I'm in a press conference she held today already appearing that she will not resign, so I cannot confirm whether she has resigned or not.
Okay, so all far, a few days ago, you came up with a decision not to go to class. Do you care to tell us basically what has informed that decision?
Thank you, Mr. George. This decision is not something that came out of the blue sky. This is something that has been ongoing, started before President Mapayan came. If you recall, last year, we had a lengthy go-slow, and some of the issues that are outlined in our resolution in what we put out as a press release. One were the issue of the renovation of the university. We had the issue of our NASCOP, settling our NASCOP debt and making sure that we are current. We had the issue of adjunct faculty. We had the issue about our promotion continuing. We had the issue about.
Hello? Hello? Oh, it seems that okay. Let's while we're still waiting, let's hear from you, Mr. Mulba. You were in the speech and then you went off. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, the internet is kind of slow. Like I was saying, we examined the 100-day deliverables of the president of the University of Liberia. In your 100-day deliverables, not a single count of a 100-day deliverable was achieved. And we see this as a betrayal to the students, and we see this as being unfit to deliver your own agenda. So the president, over the time, have been engaged in illegal dismissal, as we point to it, because we have observed and realized that some of the individuals that were dismissed, and especially the April dismissal of 8 employees, the party requested the document that informed her decision to dismiss 8 employees. Up to now, she's yet to provide those documents and reports. And the party questioned the dismissal of the former Vice President of Fiscal Affairs, that we asked the president on what basis did you dismiss the Vice President of Fiscal Affairs. Her only response was, she is the president and she has all authority to dismiss whoever she wants to dismiss. And then we saw that as being dictatorial. And there are a lot of issues. Like currently, if you go on the campuses of the University of Liberia, you will not even see any sign of renovation, any sign of improvement. And then even the past semester, the university campus, especially the seniors, did not have a single bus to commute students. And aside from that, should introduce a vacation school as quote unquote part of the semester to assist students in covering courses. But unfortunately, the vacation school is being characterized as second semester. We are about to start another semester. Up to now, we are yet to understand what is the full explanation of this coming semester. Because she is saying the coming semester is first semester when we are already done first semester. So we are asking, we are already done first semester. We are left with second semester courses. And this coming semester, you are considering it as first semester. How do you expect us to get our second semester courses done? And you are telling us that the 2 semester courses will be provided.
Mr. Mulva.
How
Mr.
can
Mulva.
we be sure that the university is capacitated to accommodate 2 semesters in 1 semester? So there's a serious contradiction. As I speak to you now, the platform is malfunctioning. There are series of courses that are not being available there, and the students are confused. So the president
Mr. Mulva.
Okay, Mr. Mulva, just take a question quickly from one of the panelists, Moses.
Mr. Mulva, listen. Are you hearing me, Mr. Mulva?
Yeah.
Are you hearing me? Mr. Mulva, do you hear me? Okay, so I will ask a question and you put it to him. Mr. Mulva made a lot of a wild allegation. He said this woman has proven to be incompetent or incapability to lead. How does he operationalize for us and the people of Liberia the incompetence he's talking about? What are his expectations for the president of the University of Liberia? That's question number 1. Question number 2, he talks about the woman not reporting to OSU or SUP or whatever regarding some administrative actions taken at the university. Does he know that as president of the university, the president is not amenable to the student leadership? Does he understand that? Asking these 2 questions, let me explain for us.
Okay.
Especially describing the dismissal as illegal.
Mr. Mulva, you heard the question?
Are you a lawyer now to determine? Yeah.
You heard the question? Yeah, you can respond.
I'm adding it up. I'm doing it.
No, let him respond to the 2 questions first. Yeah, Mr. Mulva, you can go right ahead. Mr. Mulva? Well, it seems that Mr. Mulva. Okay, his internet gone off. We'll have to just. Yeah, Mr. Mulva?
Yeah, I'm back. I was saying. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Mulva. There are 2 questions for you.
Yeah. How can you reconcile? Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, okay, go ahead. I think we'll have to take you on the phone. I don't think we have to waste time. Got 20 minutes to go. At 9:30, we should be treating another topic, so we can keep you on the phone, keep you on the line continuously. Your internet is very poor. It's not responding well. And likewise, Mr. Panton as well. Yes.
These are some of the challenges the UL is faced with. The student calling the dismissal of administrative staff illegal. Are you now the judge? Are you now is SUP now responsible to take care of labor issue at the university campus? The dismissed person, do they have recourse to law or do they have recourse to SUP?
Mr. Mulva, you have to go off and let's call you directly, please. You have to go off and let's call you directly. Your internet system is very poor. You have to go off. That was Mr. Panton. Mr. Panton? Okay. Then let's see what we can talk to Mr. Panton quickly. You have to go. Mr. Panton, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Mr. George. Okay, fine. So you were in speech telling us about issues that you people have with the
with the university administration. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, so I mean, we have had long-standing issues. In 2021, we signed an MOU with the University of Liberia. Some of the issues contained in those MOU were the issues of salary disparity, were the issues of renovation of the university. Some of them were the issue of NASCOR, our promotion and tenure. And so we tried as possible with all the might we have to ensure that we work with the UA administration so that we could address some of the things. For example, the NASCOR, the government of Liberia, realizing that after we had made contributions from 2012 up to 2020, 2021, and realized that those funds were never remitted to NASCOP, decided to take on that particular trunk of responsibility as government's debt. So they signed an agreement with NASCOP. But as we speak, Mr. George, even though the government of Liberia signed the tripartite agreement with NASCOP, people are not living up to their responsibilities. Even as we are still contributing, we don't have data at NASCOP. And as we don't have data at NASCOP, some of our colleagues who have passed, their families cannot benefit. It is a problem for us. And recently we saw some listing of the university wanting to retire over 200 plus persons, while we have the issue of NASCOP rejecting some of those who are already retired because of non-payment. It's a problem. The issue of our colleagues, as I stated earlier, on study leave, they are completely abandoned. Those people have been writing since last year. University is not able to respond. The issue of adjunct faculty, it is every semester we got to make them since February. Now, when Dr. Mapaya came, we had all of these issues. We had met with the President of the Republic of Liberia, and he assured us that some of these issues, including the renovation, was going to be taken care of. In fact, during the induction of Dr. Mapaya, the President still outlined those issues, that the university was going to be a priority and they were going to do a renovation. All of the issues we had, they were going to take care of them. Despite the fact that we didn't have a rating commitment and because the public was on us based on the time that we had been out, we had an assembly and agreed that we'll give Dr. Mapaya the benefit of the doubt for the semester so that we all can find a way to be able to see how we can work a pathway to resolve these issues. When Dr. Mapaya visited our assembly, she pledged that she was going to handle some of those issues that we had within 100 days and was going to make a report, and that report was going to be able to outline, how she has addressed some of the issues we had. So recently, in July, normally we have two assemblies as per our OFA constitution. The first semester is one, the second semester is another. So after the first semester, we convened. But before that, we had met the Board of Trustees because we had been having a series of meetings with the UA authority, and we were not seeing anything going through. We met members of the Board of Trustees, but nothing actually came out of that meeting. And we went to the General Assembly. The members in the Assembly said, okay, because some of us protested that we didn't want to come to class at that time, and you guys asked us, leadership appealed to us to come and say you were going to work. So, some of them were hesitant that, we closed the institution, then we appealed again, and they gave us a month. That month was to be able to go back again to the UA authorities, to the government of Liberia, and outline these things. We had the month up to August 18, from July 18 to August 18. We met the UA president, but some of these things, the way people respond, that's where the problem comes from. We didn't just meet the UA president. We developed a matrix. We outlined the issues. We proposed timelines for all of us to work and address these issues. We submitted to the UA president that, okay, this is a suggestion that we have. With these timelines, these are the issues. Can you give us the feedback or make an input so that we can develop a collective bargaining agreement? So that, these issues cannot this semester. We didn't get a reply, but I can understand probably the UA president could. Some of those issues also were contingent on the Ministry of Finance coming in because they had been ignoring several calls for meetings with them. And when we reported to our colleagues after the deadline, they gave us that certain things need to be further. as educated people is that have a collective bargaining agreement with clear timelines as to how they will address these issues as we all go forward.
Hello? Oh, it seems that he's, Mr. Patton?
Yes, I'm here. So,
Okay.
so those are
Yes.
those are yeah, that's where
Those
we
are
are.
some of the issues. Okay. Now, so since you raised those issues, up to present, there has been no redress yet.
Not basically, George.
Not,
For instance,
okay. Not,
where we teach,
yes,
if you look at some of the photos that come out, I mean, it's very, very, very discouraging to those kinds of facilities. And the president of the visitor promised, I mean, that probably will have completed her assessment and that the process of continuing with the renovation that the previous government had started. Well, we are in August, nothing has been done. The issue of our adjunct colleagues, we understand that, I mean, whether it is a confusion between the University of Liberia authorities and the Ministry of Finance and Development, but you cannot have people working, I mean, one semester gone, the third vacation school coming open, they get families to feed, they get families to take care of, and the university say, after they want to open school, they just come and say, okay, we'll pay you 50%. And then when we ask, when will you give them the balance 50%? You want to say when we get money. Who knows when you will have money? When in fact people have taught an entire semester, the contract is signed with you says you should pay them 50% after midterm and the balance 50% after final exam. You didn't pay them at all. The semester ended. You convene a vacation school, they taught. You didn't pay them at all. The vacation school has ended. You want to start another semester because they are agitated. You say we'll give you 50%. When we get money again, we'll give you another 50%. That's not a guarantee for people's labor. But I mean, they will not take that. But we raise the issue of now.
So may I just ask a question? Yeah. I want the Alpha executive to help us understand. Since Dr. Mapaya took over the leadership of the University of Liberia in terms of monetary support, has there been any monetary support from the Liberian government to the University of Liberia? Let me answer that question.
Mr. Sandy, I will not be able to answer that question directly because we are a faculty association. We don't directly interact on behalf of the university with the government of Liberia. So it is the university's administration that will be able to answer that question as to how much financial support the government of Liberia has provided to the university since Dr. Mapaya became president.
Okay.
So, prior to quickly I'll follow up. So prior to taking this decision to go slow, did you ever meet with the president? Did you ever meet with the leadership of the university to say, "Hey, these are our"? I know you catalog a number of problems that you guys have, but prior to taking this action, did you make any follow up to say, "Hey, these are our concerns. Where are we on this?" And what was the response of the leadership?
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Sandy. Again, I said earlier, even before our July 18th General Assembly, although we had series of discussion throughout the semester with Dr. Mapaya, and she kept on telling us that she was working on it with the government. Prior to our July 18th, Dr. Mapaya was not in the country. We met with the Board of Trustees, representation of the Board of Trustees. In that meeting, one of the members of the board raised an issue that these guys are going to their colleagues, and we know how it has been in the past. Can we contact Dr. Mapaya? The others were hesitant, and he was kind of clear that the president asked us to represent him on the board. And if Dr. Mapaya is somewhere in this world, we could send an email on these issues that the people are raising so that we get a response so that trouble doesn't come when they go to the assembly. Well, I mean, that didn't happen. Thankfully, when we went to that assembly on the 18th of July, we did not take any action. All we did was say, okay, let's extend the time by 1 more month to be able to go back to the US president, to go back again to the Ministry of Finance, which is the representative of the government, to see how we can be able to discuss these things and come up with something relevant that we all can work with. Because our concern is, hey, every time these same issues, we have not had a way that we say this is what we work on, these are the timelines, these are the responsibilities of each party, and then we all live up to those responsibilities. If there are difficulties where necessary, then we make adjustments. I mean, we met with the president when we had our July 18, so when we wrote her, we met with her once. We discussed some of the issues. She said, for example, so one of the issues was the issue of the 100 days deliverable report. Another issue was the issue of the report on the findings of the dismissal of our colleagues from the dog Cooper issue, because we were interested in the findings since, in fact, some of our members were dismissed. The president told us she could not give us the entire report from the dog Cooper case because the guys had gone to court. They were in court. So she could only give us the executive summary. And then for her 100 days deliverable, she provided us, a report, which we shared with our colleagues. On the other issues, with the NASCOM, with the issue of our adjunct colleagues, she basically told us that she was going to go and discuss with the government of Liberia and get back to us in a couple of a week. We didn't just allow her to just go because we needed to catalog those issues. So that maybe when she's going to the government, she will outline those issues that we have. We developed a simple metrics. We outlined the issues. We proposed timelines. We even proposed some of the actors in terms of responsibilities that they're supposed to do. When we sent that by email, we didn't get a response, and probably that's why I said probably the president alone from the university could not say anything because she needed to get to the Ministry of Finance to be able to consummate some of these discussions. We also sent similar stuff to resolution, but you see, even at the level of the Ministry of Finance, we have been requesting meetings with the minister, and the authorities, even with the liaison that they gave us. It is a difficult thing. So these things are affecting us. Our colleagues are dying. They are not getting the redress they're supposed to get. Their families are here. We are in situations that are very, very much constraining for our health, constraining for everything we do. We have been sacrificing. We can tell you, we buy our own markers because the university is constrained and now you want to provide marker. The university doesn't have we buy our own gas to go. Those classrooms are overcrowded. They don't even have fans. By the time you teach 4 courses, if you're supposed to teach on a single day, you will teach, that means you will stay for 4 hours. Come from those classes, you are fully drained. You can't do anything again. It's not good for your health. We've been talking these things, but it seems like maybe the university authority is going, we met with the president promised. We don't see anything. So all we're asking is, hey, there are things that you can do. You need to be serious to tell us that you will do this thing, and let's commit ourselves, because talk, maybe it's not helping. Nobody's getting reminded, but when we have a black and white, then people will know that, this is serious responsibilities that people can hold by this, and so maybe that's how people will get serious to solve the problem.
Okay, Mr. Ponten, let me ask you this question. Did you hear any time around in the university that there was a need to do some reform, especially on your payroll? There was a need to do some cleaning up of the payroll. Did you hear anything around there?
We not just the payroll. We spoke about disparity. You see, in 2021. That was one of the issues we had with the previous governments. They did pay some disparity compensation to members of the University of Liberia faculty. So we worked on a standard pay grade. And that standard pay grade was clear as to when you enter the university, where you begin, after 5 years or so, where you go. And it was there for each level and tenure. What we have seen in recent years is that process has been abused. It has been abused so massively that we have continued to raise those issues again. Even the staff association has raised those issues. Mr. George will be a secretary. Mr. George earns $100. And then in another person's office, not far from Mr. George, another secretary there, will earn $700. Why? Nobody understands. We've been trying to bring this. There are situations on the payroll where you find out people who get employed recently earn more than those who have been employed. And these pay grades, the standards were set. I mean, that when you just enter, there is a beginning point, and then you roll out after 5, 6 years. So we're calling attention again. Hey, look, this is being abused. Can we go back to this thing and straighten it up? Nobody is giving us attention. The payroll does need cleanup. I mean, it requires cleanup, because from the university standpoint, they're conducting an audit, and the audit is trying to find whether those who are on the payroll are actually real human beings working for the university, or whether they are ghosts. And we appreciate the fact that the university can be able to do that, because that has also been some of our concerns, that the university needs to be audited. The finances of the university needs to be audited for us to understand what are the problems with the university finances. Because just a minute, Mr. George, some people would say, you know, the free tuition. I was a student at the University of Liberia. I was at the university and I paid tuition. During those years, sometimes we had one bathroom, we stay in line. We didn't see what the tuition did. It was students who would get together through their projects that constructed some of the restrooms we have on the campuses. Now, if we didn't see what the tuition did, another government can say, okay, let's move the tuition, but we're getting the tuition as a subsidy to cover the cost of tuition these students are paying. And the university admitted that they were receiving, because they got something in their line they call tuition subsidy that the government of Liberia is paying to them. That means that even though the students are not paying the tuition, the government of Liberia is covering that particular portion and providing. But the problem, one of the problems that we have had at our university, and that is one of the things we need to stick on, is that there are too many leakages, financial leakages, right, for internal revenue. The graduate school is not free. The law school is not free. Besides the tuition waiver, students pay registration fee, right? One of the problems is that the university has a digital system, and they can tell us that they don't know what is happening. Some of these students, the university is not even able to tell whether all the students pay money in their account. They're not able to tell whether the graduate student pay money in their account or the law school student pay money. When you engage in the way, you say, nobody can pay, but you have a digital system that says, if that man doesn't pay money, he will not access. How is the student continue to get access when in fact they are in arrears and they're not supposed to have access? Somebody in the system, in the finance office, needs to answer that question, and the university needs to be clear for those people to account. Those are some of the things we're saying.
Okay, now shortly we'll be taking leave of you, but it's good that you've acknowledged that there was a need, or there's still a need for cleanup of the payroll. Do you care to tell us at all what has been responsible for the delay?
Well, I don't think there is a delay. There's an ongoing GSE payroll audit. Recently, there was a report submitted to the university, and the GSE is awaiting the universities that is coming up recently, or the issues that are coming up recently on the payroll, and I see some things flying around, is the issue about, selective promotion, the issue about, selective pay grade for a certain group of people, the issue that some of our colleagues have, because when you want to retire people, you got to write it ahead of time. You can't just start deducting the money in and in that they are retirees, which we saw happening from August. And when we engaged the university authority, they told us no, they didn't happen. Somebody gave the label. We said, well, university has not retired because there are issues with NASCOP. Even the university HR manual, the university doesn't have an official HR policy. We raised that. We have been trying to work on ensuring that the university has an HR manual. We did the last review and was supposed to pass. I understand the current president of the university has it. She's making some input. So in the absence of that HR manual, what is your retirement policy? And it was to be contained in that HR manual. So you don't have all of these things in place. You have NASCO rejecting people because some funding that's supposed to come is not there. You have us who are contributors. We go to NASCO and say individually, can you tell us, NASCO tells us we don't have data. Why? Because our institutions are not living up to what they're supposed to submit. We all are saying, look, some of these things we acknowledge that they will not be solved in one semester. But we have been saying these things and people have been promising. And maybe because we don't have timelines and deadlines and to meet these things, so people just talk and walk over it. So this time around, we're saying, okay, let's do this. Let's have the timeline. Let's have the collective bargaining agreement. That's what we're saying.
Okay. Now, so again, I asked you earlier when you came that, whether you got any hint about the reported resignation of the president of the university. He said, well, you haven't received it. But let's assume that it is true that she has resigned. Does it mean that you're going to return to class in the next weeks to come?
Well, that is not possible because resignation, it doesn't. I mean, the last president of the university, we had a similar issue when we were on the go slow. President Bwaka removed him. That didn't bring us, because what we wanted was, we just wanted an end to all these frequent go slows, and we wanted a document that will guide the activities, that will remind everyone of the responsibilities, that, hey, you need to do this and you need to do that. I mean, I would very much appreciate that Mapaya continuing. She has just come. She hasn't gone a year yet. But that Mapaya also needs to put her foot down. She needs to reform the university. If she doesn't want to work with people in her cycles,
Mr. Panton, you just said something that you want her to continue to continue heading the university. She just came, but all of you have made a place toxic for the woman. How do you expect her to be there? They offer and put down your chalk. You say you're not going to class. The student and student community, they all protesting. So how do you expect? It means that you don't empathize with the president.
So, no, I mean, the university seat is always a hot seat. That's the first thing. The next thing here is that when Dr. Mapaya came in January, she acknowledged that she had been briefed that we had issues and that she was going to be addressing those issues stepwise, and her 100 days deliverable was going to show us. Unfortunately, in some of the meetings, and if you look at the 100 days deliverable, I mean, she did admit that, I mean, what she expected to have done in some cases addressing some of the issues we had, she could not address them simply because maybe she could not get the kind of funding that she's supposed to get from the government of Liberia or what have you. So, I mean, what we are doing also will support Dr. Mapaya. If Dr. Mapaya cannot get something as simple as funding from the Ministry of Finance to pay adjunct people, Dr. Mapaya is ambitious to raise the university budget to at least begin on an annual basis to 60 million. How sure are we that the folks at the Ministry of Finance, who they themselves at the university, will cry on? They don't come. We cry on them. They don't come. How sure are we that what she is requesting they will give? Now, this is what we have said. You recruited Dr. Mapaya and you brought her to work at the University of Liberia, and you appraised her of the problems at the University of Liberia. Now, when you appraise her of the problem, you need to be very clear and deliberate as to how you support her to solve those problems, because the problems that exist at the university have been there for years. Some people have come and tried to solve, but then when they solve it piecemeal, and then it gets old, it starts to break again because you didn't do it properly. So if you brought Dr. Mapaya and you know that Dr. Mapaya needs the support, for example, people on study leave. The reason they are abandoned for over a year plus is simply because the university can't get money to take care of them. They left their families here. They are going to sign contract with the University of Liberia to go and come back and serve the university for a particular period. Those people have been crying since last year. Is it, I mean, our fault? Is it the university faculty's fault? No. Dr. Mapaya is the president. She has to be bold enough to demand from the government of Liberia to support the university.
So what if let me just ask the gentleman. So do you, and I want you to be honest with the people of Liberia today, do you see Dr. Mapaya as a strength or a weakness to the University of Liberia?
Well, Dr. Mapaya does not work in isolation. all of the sectors, all
No,
of the various areas.
no. Listen, my question
I'm
is,
responding to your question. I'm
yeah, let
responding to
me
your
just say,
question.
yeah, let me just say something quickly. My question is predicated on the statement that emanated from SUP or the
Odysseus
student
Soup.
union, you know, claiming that she lacks the competence, she has not been able to demonstrate leadership. And you guys are part of the faculty. In less than maybe 4 or 5 months, you are being able to do your own assessment. Do you see this lady as a strength or a weakness to the University of Liberia? That's what I want you to speak to.
The first correction I want to make here is that I do not speak for SUP, and I do not in any way represent SUP. SUP has their own issues. They are student group. I mean, they have the student union. They have their own issues. So I will not be able to speak to that. But again, every foreign faculty or qualified Liberian who are added to the University of Liberia is an added advantage, including Dr. Mapaya, who comes to the university and brings foreign experience. So even you, Mr. Sandy, if you are drafted by the university based on your experience, in your field of study and how you have worked at the university, believes that, you can provide something that is an added advantage, that is a strength to the university until otherwise proven by whoever is evaluating you. Now, I am not saying that the Mapaya has done this to the faculty. She has done it. What we are saying is that the Mapaya, you inherited problems. You promised us that you were going to be trying to solve some of these problems, but it seems that you alone, the way you're doing it is not working. And even though it is not working and you have your systematic way, but it is affecting us. And because it is affecting us, there are different approaches people can use to get the government of Liberia attention. And to you, Mr. Sandy, the only thing the government of Liberia would do, if we promise you, we say we'll go on Monday, that whole thing finished. Nobody will come out of it. Even the board will not have meeting. They will not come out to us again. Nobody cares.
Okay. So finally, from my end, so that we can take leave of you, is there any end date of your go slow? Do you have any time that you should be ending, whether on Friday, whether on Thursday, whether tomorrow?
Well, you see, Mr. George, one of the most difficult things that even the board members know is to allow our General Assembly to take decisions. In fact, when we left the last board meeting, that was a big confusion amongst them because one of the board members was saying, we have had difficulties in the past when these people, General Assembly, takes a decision. The executive will not be able to overturn it unless they go back to another assembly. Now, the difficult thing here is in going back to our assembly is that we have to go to them with results. So the government of Liberia, the Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Finance holds the biggest key because when we met the president, he told us probably when had completed, he had instructed the Ministry of Finance through the Ministry of State to begin doing what they're supposed to do. How can people ignore the visitor and the president of Liberia own instruction that he even gave during the induction of Dr. Mapaya to just allow the university to be slipping and going down the drain? Some other people do not know, Mr. George, but passionately, because I graduated from the University of Liberia, I know the things we see and the things that are happening to the university, Dr. Mapaya will try. But if the government does not support the university fully, I can tell you, we are going down. We are going down.
Well,
we want to thank you.
Quickly, let me ask you. That was a very powerful statement that you just made. That if the government doesn't provide the support, so do you agree with people like me who believe that the lack of support from national government is the key impediment to the work of the University of Liberia?
I agree 100%.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Panton. Again, we hope to connect with you to follow up on the crisis at the university. But I want to thank you for coming. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Okay, you listen to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. Thank you very much. You can go off. Gentlemen, let's try to look at this. This our second. We may not maybe discuss it there, but let's look at the second quickly. Who is funding a proxy war against the Minister of Finance? And of course, our discussion is queued from this story reported today by the Liberian investigator. And of course, let me just read excerpt and then we'll talk about that quickly. Spoon Talk host Stanton Waterspoon called Waterspoon's attack on Finance Minister sparks allegation of proxy war for VP Kun. That's the story. Spoon Talk host Stanton Waterspoon called Finance Minister Gossipay Gafwan a bold-faced lie over the government's 150 minimum wage claim, an attack that some political figures now say could be part of a proxy war on behalf of Vice President Jeremiah Kun. Waterspoon confirmed to the Liberian investigator that he texted the minister after a press briefing last week. You are a bloody liar. Man, you are a bloody liar, man. Are you living in reality? I see that was the words of Stanton. His outburst came after Gafwan declared that no one on the central government payroll makes less than 150 United States dollars. A statement that drew both scrutiny and skepticism. The clutch over wages has spilled into politics, with Montreal County lawmaker Akaros Moses Gray and Spoon Talk panelist Isaac Doe arguing that Waterspoon's aggressive stance is not just about salaries, but about shielding Kun and undermining his rivals. Stanton will soon start going against Koga because the truth is he's trying to rebuild the MDR. Doe said during a recent broadcast, referencing the movement for democracy, and reconstruction, the party funded by Kun's political godfather, the late Senator Prince Johnson. Gray suggested that Waterspoon's editorial line is tilting toward boosting Kun's 2029 ambitions. This man has the greatest soft spot for Jeremiah Kun. He remarked that Greener. He added, they say after Boycott, Gafwan wants to run to be president. This man is Kun's man. So he deals with Gafwan to give Kun added advantage. Both men contend that Spoon Talk, one of Liberia's most listened to shows, has become a platform for clearing the path for Kun by targeting officials seen as obstacles. Okay, gentlemen, let me leave it there, but that's the core of the newspaper report. Moses, let me hear from you. Your takeaway.
Yeah, a couple of observations I would like to make. First, in journalism, we report the facts. The media does not elevate or doesn't propagate rumors. And from what I'm hearing, it seems to suggest that it is being rumored. If I were the editor-in-chief of that paper, I would not have taken that story because we are not in the business of propagating rumors. If you know someone is fighting a proxy war for Kun or someone is fighting a proxy war for another person who has a beef with the Minister of
Mhm.
Finance, let that person be brave enough and say, hey, identify me that I am fighting a proxy war, for somebody against the Minister of Finance. That would make this story. For you to come and rumor that it is being assumed, it is being rumor, I'm not going to go into that basis. That's number one. Number two, or someone when you listen to, as I listen to you, there was a problem of coherence. There was a problem of coherence in that story. At one point, the story is talking about Gafwan. At one point, the story is talking about a group of people trying to do work for Kun, and so many information in there that just don't add up. We need a transition from one paragraph to another that will clearly tell us whether somebody is fighting a proxy war for Kun or somebody is fighting a proxy war for another person against Gafwan. And when you read the story, you don't see that. These are my professional observation on this. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Moses. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. I think
George?
this is just the rector failed to connect properly to ensure that to try to fuel the kind of conflict within a unity party.
You think that's the rector's intention?
Yeah, it is the intention, but he or she failed to do the kind of connection of his or whatever information that he may have had to actually create the kind of fuel. Let me be very frank. You cannot bring conflict between the Minister of Finance and the Vice President. Yeah, those who manufacturing this, they're missing the mark. You got to be a propagandist to actually read such article very well, but you are not. So you miss the mark. The connections. Now, Honorable former Representative Gray will be there praising Minister Gafwan against that or Vice President Kun. So definitely they don't match. They left with Honorable Gray, former Representative Gray. He doesn't want to see any of these people successful or talking to one another. So that article for me, Mr. Sandy dealt with it sufficiently. It's just a propaganda that is disjointed. I didn't really get anything who are there that are trying to publish that try to link one to this or Vice President Kun to that. That team you see there so is very, very solid.
Okay.
If you want to fight that team, you have to solidify yourself, strengthen your bias, we can go fight. But all those speculations are going around. It's a waste of time.
So, gentlemen, let's take it from this angle. Yes, I agree with you, Moses. The newspaper was trying to just create some stuff to say apparently the two individuals got some beef. But let's take it this way, because the newspaper also was quoting Harris Gray and Dole, both of gentlemen. Both gentlemen, they are always on this phone talk, and the reporter said they believe what Stanton was doing against the minister was something being fueled by the vice president. But let's look at it from this angle. Let's agree that issues of that nature was happening. Someone was trying to use another president to engage in a proxy war. What do you think that would mean for? How does it play out in the ruling Unity Party if that was happening, Moses?
Yeah, but look, like Mr. Kennedy said, first we need to determine if there is a beef between the vice president and the minister of finance. And when you read the story, you don't see that connection. No one has come to say there is a beef. So then how do we say that someone is fighting a proxy war, for another person against Minister Gafwan? And they got the vice president name in there. I haven't read any negative thing regarding the president and the the minister of finance and the vice president. I'm sure you haven't. Mr. Kennedy has also not read that. So how do you make the connection? Let me stop there, guys, and give it to you.
There must be a connection before such thing. That's why I said the people have solid relationship. So if you want to go in between them, you have to be strong, and you have to know what to do to create beef. But this is very cheap.
Yeah.
This particular one is very cheap, friendly. If you see the entire structure of the United Party, you will see that within there. You saw this video when the chairman came out and called all of the party helping prayer.
Yeah.
The party did apologize. The party issued a statement apologizing, regretting the chairman's statement, because they know that they will still have to collaborate with other parties in the future.
Okay.
So you can see us in the room as a lone monster. So this kind of thing going on, but not an internal conflict. That's one of the key things that are happening in the United Party. There are people also speculation. Everybody in the United Party, everybody want to be president. But everybody knows also down in there, you know where your limitation is.
Okay.
You know where it starts when it comes to the final decision making. Everybody knows. When they are given the opportunity, they are all qualified and competent to be. Okay. But if it is not your time, everybody knows that.
Okay, so let's do the last topic quickly. Let's try to see what we can get a video with the new team at the LDA, taking office today. Let's see what I can get a video to play. Let's upload it quickly and play and listen to the head of the new team. Okay.
Leadership. Our bosses who have been here, they are all absent. We Emergency Response Unit Commander who serve with distinction, with dedication to service, with pure record. He's an administrator, he's an operational supervisor, he's a fee supervisor, he adapts to fee and administrative tactics and techniques. He molded us into operational capacity. So he also an instructor. Served the Liberia National Police Training Academy for a good number of years, and he left an imprint into the police academy. So for the I want to say thank you for your service.
Children bringing them from the street,
schools, maritime authority, India, Correctional Palace is clean, and that boasting is there.
Take that responsibility of our guys are all here putting details on this deal. He's a man of principle. Yeah, he's a man of principle. And I say thank you. On Friday we were here, on Thursday we were here, we met him as well. He's a soldier, he's a fighter, he don't want to run away.
Okay, gentlemen, that was just a scene of the turnover ceremony today of the new DEA. Is the CEO or officer in charge, right? The ORC. And of course, we've been also seeing on social media that he has promised, in fact, that his men in rural Liberia, I'm sure, across, will have to do drug testing, all of them. He was trying to unfold some of his plan. Moses, with the turning over of or the taking over of the new interim management team at the DEA, what's your take?
Well, it is good. It is good. It is a good initiative trying to tackle the many challenges. But I listened to the officer in charge and some of the things he said. I think he has a very big ambition that, hey, this is what he wants to do. He wants to make sure that all officers of the LDA will begin to, undergo drug tests. It sounds laudable. But the question anyone will asking, do you know the number of officers you have in the LDA? Of course he doesn't know. Are those people reachable? LDA is not only Monrovia. That's why when you take over an organization as a top manager, before you make some policy statement, it's good to do a little bit of review of things in the place before you come up publicly. So that's one of the problems I have. These people are volunteers. They may choose to do the test and they may choose not to do the test. Do you even know the number of people? And then number one. Number two, you talk about LDA collaborating with the police and other security institutions to begin to crack down, individuals involved in the trafficking of drugs. Absolutely, it sounds laudable. But the question is, do you have the resources? Do you have the logistics? I think that means you are just taking over that place today instead of making all these profound statements and say, hey, we have come to build, reassure the people, and we will begin to take some actions to correct some problems in this place. Don't be too detailed because it is going to be like what's happening now at the University of Liberia. The government is not supporting the University of Liberia, but the students are holding the current president to say, hey, you're 100 days. OFA is also holding the president of the university, your 100 days commitment. It's the same old thing that people will come tomorrow, Mr. ORC. You said you will do this, you will do that, but we haven't seen anything. When you take over an institution, don't be hasty. Take time to understand the institution before you make a policy statement. Thank you. That's my view.
Josh?
Another thing I heard over there is too much boastful about credentials, qualification, and all those things.
From the new officers?
Yeah, I think no, that's not what the Liberian people want right now. Let me be very frank. Yes, I don't want to repeat what Mr. Sandy already said because 100% I'm with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, we know what the people want you to do. The people wants you to get involved to break that cartel, the cartel. That's it. Voila, you got all those credentials. That's the time now they will start asking, really, who is this man that is working like this? You understand? So I know he's my colleague. We all Zionites.
So you see, he was grandstanding with his degrees and all of that.
Yeah, when people praise people too much, they become complacent in this country. The man knows that, And I want him, you don't easily see in the West. You see someone well educated with several degrees. He doesn't post away. You see him very simple. Come on, he just move around, goes and does what he wants to do. But the fight is here. I don't want him to be carried away. Let him put his feet down. Let him get his plan, his strategic plans for the next 2 or 90 days or to 180 days. All the supposed names are listening to the 2 representatives on their show and all of that. They want to know the plans that the DEA has with financial costs and turn over the legislation so they can be able to use their officers to fight. So that they can get the necessary support to the LDA. So those are the issues. Why the government on the other side trying to build their center and recruit their people? You, the LDA, your main focus is not to go take fire, to go burn ghettos. It's to try to break that cartel. Once you stop the importation, once you stop those dealers, those people who bring in it, those people will not be in no ghettos.
Okay, to add on before we can open it last quick, briefly, I'm sure what people, like Moses said, you should have just done a review of the DA that he has inherited. Review it, know the manpower you have, those who are on salaries. We are hearing that there are a couple of them who are just volunteers.
Yes.
Know all of that before you can come up with a policy statement that will ensure that all your men, serving in that agency or in that unit, do undergo drug tests. That's a major policy statement. We saw you have first done his review, and then later on, come up with a strategic plan.
On a press conference.
Out of the next 6 months, what's going to happen? What sort of DEA we're going to see? and then you have a Long Reach player as well. But to have come on, but we're hoping that they can perform, because I know they have between 60 to 90 days to perform. If they can, maybe the president will have to again remove them, put in a new batch of managers. But hoping that they can perform.
Because about the problem actually I see at the DEA, yes, it's true there are some that are structured, the presidential appointees, but really that problem that over there is on the field.
It is.
Got to do with the operations, the entire the cartel has entered as the system. People there on the field who are deploying officers, even officers on the field. No. People got money. You're not paying people anything.
Yeah.
So the people definitely
they will leverage your inability to support the people. So
George and Mr. Kennedy, you guys are absolutely right.
In the meantime, let me just announce the number 0778460793. I'm coming back to you, Moses. 460793. Again, 0778460793. Let's take few calls. Or better still, 0886-540-987. Yes, Moses.
Yeah, so quickly I was saying that you guys are 100% right. Look, in the absence of logistics.
Okay, let's take this call. Yes, Moses, let's take this
go
call.
ahead.
Yes, good evening. Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. When it comes to this issue concerning the DEA, like you people have said from time to time, the bottom line is money. Once there is no adequate support for the DEA financially, there will always be problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this is why I hate to hear the lawmakers, especially my sister from Buncombe, saying, I want the people to bring this festival. It's already before them, but it's slashed. It's slashed. What was presented to them from the executive was slashed. And if they can be bold enough to just do one thing, like I said the other day, my good friends, you get over $9 million for vehicles. Just take one for 6 years. They bought up $4.something million, give it to the DA. And that will help you see a big difference.
Okay.
So the bottom line is money, like we're talking about the university issue. Money is the bottom line.
That's it.
It's getting those people angry. So here the lawmakers talking about renovating that Britannia that was banned for $1.8 billion. And not even $500,000 can go for renovation of the university campuses. No, it's just
Okay. Many thanks, Mr. Cody. Thank you very much. Let's get another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, my name is Moses Rich
Okay.
Yeah, first thing I would like to call the panelists and you, especially my big brother George Kennedy. Yeah, and for the George issue, it's not easy to minimize George in Liberia. People are talking about getting rid of it. Because majority of the beginnings are into drugs. It's not easy. For me, I live in discrimination for a very long time. And the discrimination lawmaker is hugely into drugs. People discussing everything, nothing that sounds like when they say it's true. So how do you think that the DA board will be able to arrest how they call it, on taking lawmakers? Do you think they can work?
Okay. Okay, let's leave it at that. Okay, you made your points already. Let's get another call on the line. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. Well, it seems this call is not ready. 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-540-987. That's the number to call. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. 0880.
I just wanted to clarify that this show has no information that the lawmaker.
Yeah, sure. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you, Sekou.
people will get people that will cooperate on anything. I will say the responsibility. But we want to get the responsibility. There's a problem. What they all have to do is president giving more 2 presidents. Someone will give that president.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's try to take this call on the line quickly. Good evening. Okay, Samira, let's hear from you.
But I said no, because you know already how much you will take. It's all about being wicked, not being sanctified, no love for your people, and not even the fear of God. Because you will notice that just that will leave the country from the border, they will play for police officer at the front. And you don't know where the people coming from or what they bring. Once the police at the front, no one will check that truck or that vehicle. And if we enter in a time with truck, and no one will say it. None of it just enter the because lot of us, the people in the country, and the cartel in the PEA is too much.
Okay.
It's too much. They need to work on it. We can get rid of truck. We can do it. It can happen.
Surely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Yeah. How you doing? Good evening.
I'm okay. Let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your discussion this evening. I joined from this 11.
Okay.
And as it has been that. You know, I'm one person who observed from over 15 years ago. The fight against Jews up to present has never happened. We have been around. We saw the former president Gerald Regime, Manasari, President we saw it. The fight against Jews now is more coordinated than ever before. Even the citizens themselves have begun to fight against the addition of Jews in this country. So I think the government have to go with more resources. There is a reason why we supported this government and we are still supporting the government. And we strongly believe that Mr. President Bouaka, and his administration will do the best for Nigerian people.
Okay.
So for the past time we observed, people used to be work on the street. I mean, taking in drugs, pouring down, kicking, working like but it is not happening now. They have been minimized because of the ABRA, the fight against drugs. I mean, have grown more people attention. Even in my community now that speak with you, people are going from ghetto to ghetto. Even the speaker himself, have more like people to go from ghetto to ghetto to talk to those guys to give jobs because they destroy the future. So
okay.
I think the government is considering and we have to do more so that we can get jobs in the country.
Okay. Many thanks. I think another call on the line quickly. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Good evening to the panel, George. I'm Steve Gongano. I call from GMB and GMA Foundation and recently in Dual Community.
Okay.
I always recommend that the issue of duty-free should be suspended for 3 years. I think one of the callers intimated that one representative from District 13 was involved in, allegedly involved in just, trading. And I can recall in 2022, there was a DA officer at Atlanta, lawmaker was involved in drug dealing from the District 13A. That DA officer appeared before plenary, she did it on herself. I'm sorry to say, I was witness, I'm still a witness to that event. That lady, she was embarrassed. So, look, duty-free is giving too much edge to criminals entering our system, using drugs money, entering our system. And they are within, and they put them on the credit to rebrand the DA, recruit new breed of officers, because under the George Ray administration, it was just Palestine, they were putting there, some of them was there to protect the cartel, and they are still protecting the cartel. And because this government keep on the matter of fighting drugs, they will do everything the money they government need. So we need to refrain it and spend it better than what they are spending as in this of 30 or so much.
Okay, we'll take on the two more calls and we'll wrap it up. 0778 460 793. That's the number to call. Again, 0778 460 793. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I was actually the first caller who called it to mention the law because frankly I would like to say I will apologize for what I just did. I don't have anything to do with the leg, but you know this job issue is harming us. It's actually harming we the Liberians. Majority of our brothers who graduated from school before they on the street, sleeping on the beat, the cold. It's not easy. It's very tough. So I'm actually asking the government at least to support the DEA because we have financial support. The DEA cannot make it with logistics.
Okay.
The DEA cannot make it at all because majority of the DEA they are unpaid. They are not even unpaid or they are not employed. So how do you think that the government, the DEA will fight jobs? Because whatever jobs have enough of money. Somebody can use money that large jobs and in Canada they are not paying 50,000 or 25,000 United States dollars, but if you are huge amount of jobs, they show you that money. You force a hold and let it go.
Okay.
So will you be talking on something?
Okay, many thanks. We'll take on one more call and wrap it up. 0778 460 793. That's the number to call. Again, 0778 460 793. Or better still, 0886 540 987. That's the number to call. 0886 540 987. That's the number to call. Or better still, 0778 460 793. You call any of those numbers, you'll be live on the air on Night Time Heat tonight. We'll shortly be leaving 0778 460 793. That's the number to call. Or better still, 0886 540 987. Moses, let's hear from you and then your parting comment as well.
Well, I want to say it was indeed a great show. The callers spoke to the issue. We also spoke to the issue. I want to make this public appeal to the president of the Republic of Liberia. The situation at the University of Liberia is extremely sad. To see someone go there with with the intent, with the purpose of helping to save our educational system. And this person is being frustrated, by people within government cycles is so sad. And we need to rethink, the funding of the University of Liberia. Nowhere, especially abroad where I reside in the West, university education not free. You have to pay for it. You can choose to go to college or you choose not to go to college. If you're going to go to college, you gotta pay for it. The burden on the government is too huge. And then to the LDA people, I quickly want to say, my people, what we need at our play is what? Budgetary support and logistics. If you don't have those things, all the other things you're saying, mere publicity stunt. Thank you.
George?
Yeah, so to the government of Liberia, we say the cost of running a university free is even higher than the cost of people paying for their education. You can see the private schools here, some people paying $20 for credit hours, some people $17 for credit hours, and those schools are packed. It's not because they can afford, it's the good service people are going for. So I think they should rethink and put the university in a rightful position where they will generate their own money and manage themselves with government subsidies going to augment that. Number two, I will go to where Mr. Pittens, where he talked about this issue of NASCOP, people not paying NASCOP, withholding NASCOP taxes on behalf of workers since 2012 to 2021 is an issue that needs to be settled. People feature lives in those fields. That because when you retire, you need to get a retirement benefit. Anybody will talk good retirement package or retirement benefits, definitely that person sitting there will die soon. So it's something that you need to look at it.
Josh,
yeah.
I don't want to cut you off. Let me just help you out. My brother, what you said is 100%. And what those people are doing is fraud. That's fraud. You can't cut my money and not benefiting. That's fraud.
Yes. So I think so I will also speak to the student dealer, Odysseus, Mr. Moba. Let me tell you something, Mr. Moba. It is not the student's business if the UF faculty, the president dismisses or takes administrative action against the faculty staff or administrative staff of the university. Then he said they should report to you. As he said, it was illegal. You're not judge. You did not quote. You are a student, remain in the classroom and do your classroom issue. You're not going to go dictate to administration. I've been student president for MSI University. All the schools I attended became president. When the Cottington Graduate School will refuse the leadership, all right, because we're tired serving now. They all uphold the opportunity. You're not the only person who knows about student leadership. The students got their role, the administration got their role. If you don't see teachers in the class, you got a right to talk. We led the protest there during Mr. Taylor time when the president of Martin Luther King High School. When they were not paying faculty, we closed the city. I mean, Mr. President went and met the autonomous high campuses, and Mr. Taylor of all people, 2 times with their protesting this time. So if you start playing here, let's face the reality and change this country for the good.
Okay, I think the issue happening at the university is not unique to this administration. We've been in the country, we are not traveled. Every administration will have its own share. I can remember there was a time that university students were protesting, and in fact, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went in the thick of it, in the crowd, and she said, in fact, she was being advised, oh, don't go to the place now, it's toxic, but she went there and to say they are my students and they are my children, I will have to go to talk to them. In fact, likewise, former President, I'm sure during his time, university, I think the university needs a librarian. I'm not being a bias. I think a librarian needs to head in that institution, not the foreigner. Because if you set a librarian who understands, knows that place is a crisis ground. That person would have been afraid. They're always going to meet the students and hear from them and say, look, what's happening, and knock the doors, that is supposed to knock. But our people from that side, that way of working is quite different. They don't want any hardship. They don't want any difficulty. They don't want anything to stall, their work. So at the end of the day, if there's any crisis or any challenges that they think cannot be solved, they will have to quit.
They want to innovate. They don't want to.
So I'm hoping that hoping that it's not true. That information that she resigned is not true. But if it is, we're hoping that the president can look around, amongst librarians and get and librarian them to head that university. We'll have, we'll be able to meet those students one-on-one and say, look, we all pass through this war. We know what has been happening here. We know the tension here. And of course, we're all going to pass through the tension, and we'll solve the problem. We'll find the resources. Until then, we'll be back on Wednesday. But in the meantime, let me try to just reference some of our viewers who can get now. Sleepy Prawari, he didn't say from where. Vinicius Genium Ba, didn't say from where. Moses Momolu, didn't say from where. Patrick Kennedy, didn't say from where. Ophelia S. George said she was watching from home. Shadrach Guami from Yekepa de Makari. Vamuya and Sully from Broadville City, Hilton Jero from Greenville City, Salia and Waya from Jaratown Community, Louis WTK from Bagnersville, I hope I got it right, Mr. Moses Smokey Bolba, I'm sure I represented Smokey Bolba, you don't watch from his home, Avi Emma Kofa also didn't say from where, Amos Ward from West Point, and the rest of you, they call all the names. So, until then, Summer George is my name. Thanks for listening. Have a pleasant night.